Hey guys, so Disney Pixar's highly anticipated Soul is now available on Disney+. Does it live up to the hype? Stick around and find out. Guys, thank you for joining me, Guy at the Movies, here to talk to you about Disney Pixar Soul. If you haven't already, please make sure you like this video, comment below, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to stay up to date on all of the videos that get posted to Guy at the Movies on YouTube. So let's talk about Soul. Joe, the main character, is voiced by Jamie Foxx. He's a band teacher and an aspiring jazz performer who finally gets his big break. Jamie Foxx voices Joe, a band teacher and aspiring jazz performer who sadly passes away in a freak accident that sends him to the conveyor belt type thing that's going to take him to the great beyond. When he fights his way off of that conveyor belt, he ends up in what can best be referred to as the great before. He's tasked with helping an uninterested soul, voiced by Tina Fey, find her passion and ultimately find her way to Earth. Soul is definitely a deep film that touches on a lot of different topics, from passion to soul to desire to living your best life and not wasting any day. Pixar is known for diving into deep topics like this. I will say that one thing that's really weird about this messaging is the film seems to imply that dreams are not worth chasing. I think there's a lot to be unpacked here, and unfortunately I'm not the one to do that because I will have to watch the film multiple times to really identify exactly which direction it's going, which is one knock that I have against it, right? I don't want to have to watch a film multiple times to really understand the core messaging. Unfortunately, everything is jumbled. It's almost like Pixar knew they wanted to explore a bunch of big topics related to life and what the meaning of life is and how we find our way and find our passion, but it never really comes together to fit into a cohesive package. I use the metaphor often. It's like throwing spaghetti against a wall and hoping that something sticks. I don't know that it's quite that cavalier here, but they definitely didn't pull everything together the way that I expect Pixar to do. Instead, the film seems to rely on this goofy body swap type thing involving a cat and Joe, and it really just didn't work for me. It took a really mature topic and mature focus and boiled it down to something that was kind of silly. There are a lot of emotional moments that are set up. You see the layup there, but they don't really have the impact that you would come to expect from films like this. Additionally, the subversive humor that we've become so used to in these films is just not there. There's little moments that will make you giggle, but they're few and far between. One of the major negatives of Soul is that it climaxes with an unconvincing enlightenment of our main character. We don't really see a big build up to getting there. It sort of just all happens at once. It really just seemed rushed near the end. It's really nice to see Pixar dive into topics like this that other animated films would skirt around. We've become used to Pixar pushing those boundaries and redefining what an animated film can be. This is one film, though, that I think kids are going to have a hard time identifying with, aside from the referenced body swap antics that I talked about earlier. Just like any Pixar film, Soul is a worthwhile film to watch because it is beautifully stunning in terms of the animation. Nobody does it like Pixar, and unfortunately I don't know that anyone ever will. The exploration of the topics within this film will keep you thinking and lead to a lot of great conversations with others who have seen it. Unfortunately, in Pixar's vast library of hits, I think this falls somewhere in the middle. One thing that we should talk about is the music. You come to expect Pixar and Disney films to have solid soundtracks, and Soul is really no exception. We get to explore jazz in a way that we haven't really seen since The Princess and the Frog. So it's really nice to see this diverse offering of music that we're getting in the different films and exploring different cultures, because that's what Disney really does great. So ultimately, what would I give this? I would give this film 3 stars out of 5. It was a fine film. I enjoyed myself. It wasn't what I expected. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. And like I said, it falls right in the middle of Pixar films. But I'm interested to see what you all think. Soul is now available on Disney+, so go ahead and stream it today. And as always, make sure that you're following Guy at the Movies on Instagram, guyatthemovies.com for all of your movie news and reviews, as well as Guy at the Movies 1 on Twitter. And please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a beat.